Hi, everyone. This is EstaRa back with you tonight, as promised, for a message. It is Wednesday, November 30th, 2016. I don't know why. I don't remember the dates ever. I think I get wrapped up in things and I totally get into like a high frequency vibe and I don't remember everything. So I pulled some cards for us and I wanted to do a reading for the week of November 30th, 2016. So by the way, I didn't mention this in the last video, but we are entering Mercury retrograde shadow period tomorrow, December 1st. And just a quick little tidbit, I've been experiencing crazy communication issues, technical issues, weird little things. So I definitely feel that energy is on the horizon and it's coming in. So just be prepared for that because it's coming. And with that being said, what's interesting, the messages I'm getting about this time period is that we are getting ready to be in like a retro period. That kind of pulls us back a little, slow us down. Well, we might be slowing down. Our brains, our physical beings might be slowing down, but the universe is not slowing down and the energy is definitely moving full forward fast. So please be conscious of that and be aware of it because my guides are really clear that get ready, strap on those seatbelts. The ride is here, it's coming, and it's definitely here now. Be prepared. So how do you prepare for Mercury retrograde? Just know that it's happening, accept it, let it go. And just be sure to like not make major decisions that you haven't been working on. Like if you've been working on them for a while, that's not a big deal, no big worries. But it's a great time to revisit ideas and things you want to do. And also a lot of people from your past might show up, so those of you who haven't heard from your twin, don't be surprised if they contact you during Mercury retrograde period. And don't be surprised if you feel like inclined to reach out to them. It might not be feeling it at this moment, but you may feel it once we start to go into a retrograde. I believe the retrograde is on December 19th. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw earlier today because I looked it up because I'm like, I think we're in Mercury retrograde. I'm feeling all these crazy things happening. We're just entering that period. So I feel like the period's beginning. And that's a shadow period. So it's not like the full force retro. It's the shadow. So just be aware. Okay, we're now on to the cards. So I wanted to quickly pull three cards. So one's going to represent the divine masculine, one will represent the divine feminine, and one is going to represent the union. And I just saw 222, as I said, the union. So to me, 222 has always been this amazing message that do not give up because it's almost here. I know it might not look it, but it's almost here. So as I say in all my videos, and particularly the previous two, you are already merged. It's already here. It just hasn't shown up in 3D reality or physical reality because we're not totally in 3D anymore. It hasn't shown up in our physical reality, but it will appear in our physical reality if we manifest it and make it appear. And it's funny when I say make it appear, it's not like you have to like be like, you are my union, come down to me now. It's not like you have to do that or go run to your twin and yank him by the collar or her by the jacket and say, I am your twin flame and I love you and I want to be with you. That's not what we have to do. Although I kind of did that at one point. So that's funny as I say that. I'm like, oh my God, I really did do that at one point. But I don't think I actually said, you're my twin flame. I said, I am in love with you. Because this was before I really knew that he could handle the word twin flame. Now I kind of throw it out there occasionally, just out of my mouth. It just shows up. And so I just want you to know that it's not that way. The way you manifest is, if you watch my previous video, that's the way you manifest. Raise your frequency and your vibration. Really important. Because the more that you're in it, the more you can maintain what you're manifesting. I mean, it's really that easy and that simple, and yet that difficult and that hard to maintain the frequency. So I encourage you, if you have not watched my previous video, the one that's entitled, I think I said, I don't even know what I entitled it, Twin Flame New Moon, Message of Manifestation, I don't know, let me look and see. Message about manifestation. There you go. To the point, what you need. All right, on to the reading for the Twin Flames for the week of November 30th, 2016. Hey, I remember that without having to look totally. Okay, so let me see. I pulled the cards, but I didn't look at them yet, so let's see what we have here. Let's do the masculine, the divine masculine card. Oh, I like it. Ace of Swords. So let's take a look at that card. Do you see it? It's kind of like King Arthur is able to pull the sword from the stone. Do you see the light around it? So to me, I really like this card for the divine masculine. To me, he is gaining. There's two things I see in this card. And the first one is If you see it lit up, you see the light around the card, all around this card. So when you see the light all around this card, not the card, I'm sorry, around the sword. Oh boy, the words are bad. I don't know. I have this really big inflow of energy that just popped in the last 10 minutes. I just finished recording the other one where I felt like I was falling asleep because I was tired. And then I had a quick snack and I feel like I'm charged again. And I'm also in high frequency. My guides are very clear with me. So the sword. So the sword is lit up, and it's lit up because it means it's activated. It means it's time, it's being pulled out. It can be pulled out now. It's the connection is there, the link is there, and it can be pulled out. I also consider swords, when I think of swords, I think of mental. So when I look at this, I actually think of he's getting it. He's got it. The divine masculine has got it. He's getting it. And to me, that's profound. And that's a really big deal when it comes to the divine masculine, because what he's doing is he's bringing in this energy of frequency, his frequency of, I didn't know, to a place of, aha, I think I got it. And, for those of you that are, near union and you're in that merged state and you're just waiting for it to show up in your reality or for you to bring it down, I believe that means your twin has gotten it. It's clear. And his or her mental thoughts are being aligned with that truth, which means his world is becoming aligned with that truth. That's what I get with this as I'm talking to my guides. And then also the other thing that I get with this card is if you're not in the merged, but you're in the merging phase, this to me means he's beginning to get ready to pull up that sword, meaning he's beginning to pull in his power and understand it more fully. And he's beginning to step fully into who he is, which means stepping to who he is a lot of work. It's not easy. And I feel like that's really important right now because we're all in that phase of stepping to who we really are. And we are getting pushed, prodded, poked, and kicked into this being of who we are. So that's where we're all at right now. And this, for me, when I look at this card for him, the divine masculine is really ready. He's getting ready. He's not quite there because he doesn't have the sword in his hand like this. That's what I feel. But his sword is coming up. He is the one to pull it up. He knows what he needs to do, and he's starting to do it. He's on that path of doing it. That's the divine masculine. Love the card. Okay, let's pull the divine feminine. Well, this is interesting. It's another swords. This is Guardian of Swords, and I love it because immediately I hear she put down her sword. Do you see this? This is for the divine feminine. When I look at this card, I look at this beautiful rose, and to me, it signifies divine unconditional love. And when I see this is like his helmet, the winged soldier, if you will, his helmet, or knight. I should say knight, not soldier. My guides corrected me, and my twin did, actually. His energy did. So when she takes off her metal, her protection, which is this here, when she removes that and she opens up to divine love, right here, she's letting her guard down. She's becoming more vulnerable. The work she's doing on herself is opening her wounds, making her more vulnerable, but also clearing those wounds is actually making her more powerful. So I feel like the sword symbolizes power. But if you notice, she's not using the sword. She's not using her mind anymore. To me, she's using her heart. When I see this beautiful red rose, she's using her heart. She put away the sword, because you can see on this sword, all this ivy growing around it. Well, ivy can't grow around a sword if it's moving around constantly. No, it's standing still. She's put it away. She's taken down her mask. She's taken down her armor. She's no longer going to stay in that state of I'm on defense and I'm on guard. She's more like I'm vulnerable, I'm soft, and I'm coming from love. And so she's ready to receive him. So if you think about it, this is the divine feminine. It's the divine masculine. He is like, I'm getting ready to come to you. And she's like, I'm ready. I'm getting ready for you to come to me. And that's what I've been working on. And that's what I'm working on. So they're both working on coming together. I love these cards. Oh my God. They resonate so much to me. They make me feel kind of happy, actually. And I love that what's interesting to me is they're both coming from the same place. So they're both learning to use their mental abilities better. So for him, he's learning to align his thought process with his truth. For her, she's aligning her thoughts with her heart. So really, she's giving more power to her heart than her thoughts. And, right now he needs to like still align his thoughts. So that's not a bad thing that he's still doing that, because remember, the divine masculine has been programmed to be in their head more than their heart. And just by the way the divine masculine has been perceived, raised, programmed on this planet, it's just got a totally different frequency than what we want them to be in, and a totally different belief pattern than we want them to be in. So I feel really good about that. Okay, so now the card for the divine union. I like this card. I see, again, it's another sword. Oh my goodness, I didn't notice that. Wow. Until just a second ago. I just noticed, there's another sword. I was just too busy looking at the card, and then I looked down and I'm like, oh my gosh, Child of Swords. It's Child of Swords. Do you see this card? Immediately, I hear in my head, I am you and you are me. We are one in unity. This is something that I have my students say when we're in ceremony and when we're in a beautiful circle and during like a solstice celebration or an equinox celebration, or just, a class of healing. And I usually have them say that. And I am in love with this card because I am you and you are me. We are one in unity. It's like bringing that vibrational frequency up to that truth. And there's recognition of who you are. So I believe this means both of us, both twins, both the masculine, both the feminine, are recognizing who we are to each other. And we're doing it from a very, it's funny, these cards, I know the meanings might be very different. I don't know. I don't read the book. I have the book somewhere, but I don't really look at it. Actually, I haven't looked at it. I probably haven't looked at it since I bought the book. I bought the cards maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, maybe longer, actually. When I look at the card, when I hear Child of Swords and I think of Child of Swords, I think of like my inner child recognizing your inner child. So my twin the inner divine feminine child is recognizing the inner divine masculine child and realizing you are me. We are the same. I know we look different on the outside. I know we act different and our behaviors are different. Sometimes we're bipolar, in our union, like one is one way and one is the other way. And sometimes we're, we express differently and we present differently. And like, for example, mine is a lawyer and I do the healing thing. So I'm in this, as he used to call it, airy fairy world. He doesn't call it that anymore, but he does call me wacky sometimes because of some of the things I come out with. I don't hide who I am with him. And I love that I don't hide who I am with him. And sometimes it's a little weird because he'll say, oh my God, you're so wacky. Or he'll say weird, but that's what he says. But it's because it's just a different world that he lives in. Okay. So that being said, the truth of the matter is I am him and he is me. And we are the same because our inner children reflect back and forth to each other who we are. And I can tell you from my experience, and my feeling is for all of you, you probably have very similar experiences, or if you don't have the similar experiences, I want you to kind of pull yourself back a little, think about it and ponder. Because when there was a time during this journey where I did walk away from my twin. I was very guided to step away and completely cut ties in every way, shape, or form, block everything, just be done. And I did that. I did that for about a year, maybe not quite a year, but just about a year. And it was really hard, the hardest thing I ever had to do in my journey. But I was being told that I wasn't going to be okay if I didn't do this. And he was being told on some level that he wasn't going to be okay. And he couldn't do the walking away. Only I could do it. So I stepped away and I was angry at him because I knew who he was and I could feel his love for me. And yet he wasn't choosing me. So I walked away and I would journal every day. So I'm a big journaler. And if anybody's been a client of mine, I like journaling as an option. I journaled every day and I would write about us and I would write about him. And at first I was angry, like, oh my God, he's so different. He's so this, he's so that. And when I would do that, I wrote it down and then I would go back, and a lot of times I'll write in my journal and then not look at it for a long time. And then I'll pick up and I'll look at it again. And when I look at it again, it gives me messages because I'm reading through some old things. I might read the last page or the last few pages. Well, I remember going back and looking at my journal and reading through it and saying, holy crap, he is just like me. We are so much the same. And on the surface, we don't appear that way. You know, like he is non-communicative at times, and I am so communicative. He is, he can shut things down. I can't. He is very analytical at times and very much doing what he's supposed to do. I am very creative at times and not always doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm laughing because I have a list of a million things. I actually just texted my friend before I turned this on, and I said, I have so much, I can't even tell you how much I have to do. And I want to like eat, but I can't. But I don't. I want to do this, but I don't. And I said, it's just, I have all these things to do. I have this giant list. I'm going to add that to my to-do list too, because she had said something to me. I said, this is what I'm going to do. And she's like, oh, good idea. And I said, yep, let's add it to my to-do list. I said, I have all these things I need to do, and I'm doing things that are not on my list. And I did write a list. I wrote a big list on Monday, and I think I crossed 2 to 3 items. I know, sad, but it's not really sad. It's exactly what needs to happen. I trust in the universe and the law of divine will. I did what I needed to at this moment. So I'm exactly where I need to be at this moment. All, as my guides say, is in divine and perfect order. But I looked at it and I recognized that he and I are really very much the same. Now, again, we don't project the same way. We don't present the same way. He gets short-tempered and angry. I don't. But when I do get angry, it builds up inside of me. But it's never short-tempered. It's usually built up. His is like, short. Mine is not like that. I tend to be more calm. He doesn't. He seems to tend to be more anxious. But that's presentation. That's how he's experiencing his experiences. That's how they come out of him. And this is how they come out of me. This is how I experience my experiences. But the truth is, our experiences are the same. We actually have very similar belief systems, very similar patterns. And again, they may appear different, but they really are the same. So I would like you to look in your twin relationship and see what your experiences are. And try to find that common ground, because it's there. They're not that different. You know, we're not that different from each other. We're all the same inside. And he literally is a mirror to me, and I'm a mirror to him. And your twin is a mirror to you, just as he is or she is a mirror to you. So I love this card. So to me, this is divine recognition of who you are. This makes union possible. If we don't recognize who we are for each other, then how can union ever happen, right? And how it also makes me, I'm feeling some messages coming, and it also makes me think he and she are your twins, whoever they are for you. The twin journey is so much about self-reflection, right? So self-reflection here, looking inward to discover what we need to heal, or what patterns we're carrying out. And a lot of times we're carrying out the patterns without recognizing their patterns. We don't know that because we've been living them, right? They're part of us. They're in our subconscious. They're in our day-to-day, every day. So in doing that all the time and living that way, we forget that there is actually this thing happening that we may or may not have conscious control over. But if it's unconscious, we can gain control over it by bringing it to our reality and into our consciousness. And a lot of times, you know, when I'm working with people, they'll tell me that they don't really have anything, you know, going on, that everything's good. But then stuff will start surfacing out of their unconscious. And that, to me, that's my job as a healer. I can't fix your life and make it all better. You fix your life and you make it all better. I am there to support you and guide you and help bring you the clarity and bring you in the direction of your soul. But I can't do all of it. You have to do it. That is your job and your role. And so I feel like, you know, this part of, you know, letting down our guard and opening our heart, taking back our control of our mind and aligning it to our real divine truth, helps us to reflect upon us and our journey and where we're meant to go next. And that's when we discover another you, another me. And that's when we discover each other as twins. You know, I feel so good about these cards. Yes, I would have loved to seen it as a heart card, because of course that's love. But I love that these cards are where we are right now. And that's really the now that we're in. So I don't know. Blessings to all of you. I hope it resonated with you. I hope it makes sense for you. If it doesn't, throw it away. By all means, if something doesn't resonate, just let it go, because life is too short to like ruminate over something that doesn't resonate. Oh, I like how that sounds like a poet, and I didn't know it. Anyway, I send you all blessings and love, and I miss you all because I feel bad that I haven't recorded in a while. And I do want to let you know, in the works, there's a couple things coming. I'm going to come up with some specials for December for Twin Flames if you want to take advantage of some opportunities that are coming. I also want to mention that in the new year, one of my plans is to create community with all of you, because I learn from all of you just as much as you may be learning from me or receiving from me. So I thank you for your blessings and your goodwill over the last several months of being on my YouTube channel. And I did not get to do a gratitude with you, but I am very deeply grateful for you for many reasons. So first, I get to share my story with you. Of course, I didn't share all of it. So at some point, I'll begin to share more. I get to ramble. I am grateful for you listening. I'm grateful for you being there. I'm grateful for you being supportive of me and being supportive to me. I'm grateful to just have a community of twin flames that are part of the journey with me, because for a long time on this path, I felt very alone, and I don't feel alone now. And, I'm sitting here alone in my home and I'm recording to all of you, and I feel like you're right there with me. So I send you blessings of love. Namaste. And again, if you did not see the previous video, I really encourage you for two reasons. There's a great bit of information about manifestation there, but there's also a blessing at the end. It's light language blessing from my guides to you. So namaste, so much love, and I'll be back at some point soon. Take care of you all, and happy union.